Okay, just real quick, I've gone through and taken all the wires that went out to the engine compartment, not from this boot with the main wires, but the one that went out with the igniter and the starter and all the other stuff that was connected to it. Went through, cut everything out that I didn't need. Basically all the wires that go this way, towards the driver's side, or left side of the car, you didn't need. So the only thing that goes out there that you cut was this large power wire, which actually splices into the starter wire, and that wire comes down and works its way this way. Everything black, like I said, is ground, so these are all ground wires. And then we just have this, and this goes straight back to the ECU. So everything that went this way you don't need. This here splits off into a whole bunch of different wires. This wire, red and yellow, comes out from the main relay. So that's the power on from the main relay. Comes through. I may just cut this here and hook up the main relay later. Goes through and goes up to all the sensors up here, and then some might go back to the ECU. I'll have to pull it apart and check it out. But basically, what was from all that one boot, which I cut off at an angle so I can reuse it, that's it pretty much. Just one of these wires went up this way, but we didn't need it. And that's all you're left with. And now I'm going to start cleaning up the rest of this. Okay, so I went through and looked at my car, and I have some different colored wires for the power. It looks like on this one the power wires, these larger diameter black and red wires. These small diameter black and pink ones are still ground, but if you look at the wiring, these two are power wires that come from the main relay. So the main relay gets powered up and then sends power into these. These split off. A couple get cut, but these split off and go out to the sensors and stuff that need to get powered up. And then these ones, two of them go to the main. They're the main power wires for the ECU. So looking at the relays, have a look at this. Okay, so power in is this one. Power out to the fuel pump is going to be this black one. This one hooks up to the computer or the ECU. This one, I went by other wiring diagrams when I did mine, and it hooks up to another power wire, which doesn't function because you need a ground. So I would ground this if you want to keep a fuel pump relay, or make this a switch if you don't want to hear the fuel pump and want to turn your key on. So you can make this a switch, run it as a ground switch all the way up to your dash. And then looking at the main, I don't even know where it went. Here we go. The main relay connection. We've got these. So these big black ones are going to be power in. On later years, they're red. So the next year over was my 99. They're both red. These two are going to be the power that I showed you earlier down there that go out to the ECU and to the sensors, and then of course ground, and then this one runs to the ECU as well for power on. I think that's right. I think that's how I did it. So what you want to do is you'll want to hook up these power wires, and then also the black power wire from the fuel pump relay to a 15 amp fuse. You can actually steal one of these, which is nice. It's like a little inline fuse. Throw it on there. Hopefully the gauges are big enough. This one's actually got two wires going in and out, so you could just hook them all up together. Or you can get your own inline 15 amp setup. But yeah, So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to trace back the wires, cut these off here, cut them off there, pull them back and just wrap them around, that way you know where they are, and then get rid of all the rest of this because you don't need it. Okay, so real quick, this wire, which is black and red, went out from the ECU, splits off, and it's a power wire. I know it's red on my car. One of them goes out to the fuel pump relay. Two of them go out to the main relay, and then one of them goes out and turns into, let's see if I can get some good light, this wire here on the OBD2 port. These other two wires on the OBD2 port, these black ones, they go to the, they merge and go to this green connector plug. So yeah, the other wires I'm going to trace through. I'm going to go check out my car. I don't even know if you need all three of them, but I'll trace them back and or at least look at a pinout and figure out what to do with them. So that's it so far. That's with the one wire, and I'll keep picking away at this, but I feel like I'm almost done. Okay, so I took the fuel pump relay, the main relay, traced the wires back, and cut them off, and then just kind of tied them together. So I've got, you know, the green wires tied together, the green wires, the red, whatever. They're all tied together, and they're just kind of over to the side. These ones go out to the engine, and this is what's left going this way. There's quite a few of them, but what I'm going to do, I've got this, and I have these wires already figured out, the black ones. One goes to the green tester, the other one comes from a power wire, which is over there with the same wires that power the relays. So what I'm going to do is I trace back this black and gray one, trace it out, and I think it's this one here. I'm just going to cut it off and then retie it back to that one in a second. The other wires go up into this mess, and they connect with other wires, and they're all wrapped up, and I don't want to deal with them. So what I'm going to do is just going to look at the color. One's brown and white, one is green and red. Pick them out of here, cut them, and just hook them up, and that should be good. Last time I tried to do that, worked out okay. And then the rest of the wires I'm going to trace through and see what they go to. Maybe they just power random things from the ECU, but pretty sure I don't need any of the rest of them. I could probably cut them off, but I'll go through them just to be sure. Okay, I started going through, went through a pinout and started going through the stuff that I need. Wrote them down on a piece of paper and started writing where they are on the ECU. So what I did was I would just go through, pull out one that I need or that I know I don't need. If I don't need it, I just pinch it off, pull it through. So that's this pink one here, gonna get rid of it. This fat one is the, oh, it was something. I went through all of them, so this one I'm gonna keep. This one is, that splices off, one goes up into the sensors, one goes to the ECU. It's a green and a pink one, or green and red. I can't really tell. This is ignition on, so I'm just going to cut it, wire it to ignition on. This one goes to a sensor out here. I think it hooks up to the transmission. Doesn't even go to the ECU, so I'm going to cut it, don't need it. And then there are various other ones. The only thing is, what I did earlier, I took the OBD2 port and found a brown wire that hooked up to the, that, you know, ran across here. Just cut a brown wire with a white, was it white? Yeah, brown with a white. There's actually two of them, so I'm just going to go to the ECU, see which one hooks up, and then or figure out where they both go. So I'm just going to go through the wires one at a time, look at where they go in the ECU, check the pin out, see if I need them. If I don't need them, cut them off. If I need them, I'll hang on to them. Okay, it's been about 5 hours. Took my time in a lot of it. So we've got just one more wire to hook up, and then these guys, which I cut accidentally, they go to the atmospheric pressure sensor in the engine compartment. Kind of tied everything up. This is the igniter. This goes out to the mass airflow sensor. I didn't trim it up because I don't know where I'm going to put it. Just kind of cleaned everything up. This goes to the starter. All the way down. This is the wire I have to figure out. It's a backup power supply. Just gotta look at what I did last time. You know, ignition on, fans, all that stuff. I kind of pulled out all the wires that you need. These are extra wires. I don't know if I'm just gonna cut them and tape them up, or if I'm just gonna pull them out, but that could be time consuming. So what you need, so I've got the test plugs. I cut one, found it was an orange wire. It's listed on the pinout. And then the OBD2 port, you know, fuel pump main, and then the power to supply to all those. I'm just going to tie them all together.